We're always winging it. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make hot cross buns. One of those breads that's slightly technical and a little bit dreaded, but I am going to simplify the process for you, so much so that you probably have it done in less than an hour. Okay, so with a bit of elbow grease and a few ingredients, we're gonna have beautiful hot cross buns, like I said, in under an hour, and something that the whole family can enjoy. To start off with, I've got about 3 cups of self-raising flour in my bowl here. This is super simple. It's literally, the basis is yogurt and flour. Then we're gonna add a few extra things to sort of let it rise. It's not a yeast-based dough, so you're not going to have to leave it for an hour or an hour and a half to prove. Just mix everything together, roll it up, and then put it in your pan and just let it rest for about 10 to 15 minutes. What I've got here is some plain yogurt. You can use traditional or Greek style. I'm not going to use the full amount that I've got here. I'm just going to use a little bit first, because if I need more, I can add more. So to that, I'm going to add the spices, and I've got a bit of extra baking powder, which I know the self-raising flour has, but we just need that little bit extra, as well as a little bit of bicarb soda. And for the spices, I've got cinnamon, and ground nutmeg. So all of those can go in all together. And what we want is a little bit of brown sugar. That's probably a couple of tablespoons there. A little bit of an additional flavouring. We're going to go with vanilla. So vanilla paste, vanilla essence. Feel free to use whichever you like. So straight in there. And that's all there is. Now, I've got 2 types of sort of mix-ins, if you like. I've got one dark chocolate chip, and the second one is mixed dried fruit. So what I'm gonna do first is get that dough coming together. I'm just gonna mix it with my hand, just like that. And like I said, if you feel like it needs a little bit more moisture, you can add a little bit more yogurt. But just get that dough coming together. I think it might need a bit more, so we'll add another couple of tablespoons. Now this recipe came about, I was thinking of the traditional hot cross buns, but I was also thinking of how many of us really love the thought of making hot cross buns at home, but then never get around to doing it because it's very time consuming. And slightly more technical than other breads, where you've got to heat milk up and heat butter up and mix everything together and knead it all. So I came up with this recipe pretty much in the spur of the moment, would you say, Mikhail?
Yeah, about half an hour ago.
About half an hour ago. So this is what life is. It's about winging it in the kitchen. And, you know, if things don't go according to plan, it's about being able to change and being comfortable with that change. I'm just going to knead that on the board a little bit. So, as I said, it's not a yeast-based dough, so it doesn't require too much, but we do want the glutens in the flour to activate. So we're just gonna flour our board a bit, and then get our dough slightly wet, which is fine. Move that to the side. Just put it, and then just get that coming together and knead it. So what we're doing now is we're activating the glutens in the flour, and we just want it to come away. So if it's too wet, that's fine, just keep adding flour. You're probably gonna need for about 10 minutes. I created this dough after also wanting to make quick and easy donuts, but I didn't want to go through the fuss of proving and adding yeast, and I just wanted donuts there and then. cinnamon donuts at that. So I have made it, but now I'm just testing it and seeing how it goes as a hot cross bun. So we're all in this together. This may or may not work. And I think that looks pretty good. What do you guys reckon? All right, we're gonna leave that there for a second. I'm just gonna clean my hands and then we're going to butter. We're using the Tefal Ingenio pan to actually put our hot cross buns in there. I'll be back with you in a sec. So I've buttered the pan and I'm adding the brown sugar now on top in a nice even layer. Dough's here, it's ready to go. I've got a bit of brown sugar in my pan and what I'm gonna do is just press that out and get rid of the lumps. And that's going to act as sort of like, well, in theory, we hope it's going to caramelize and be a little bit of a sticky caramel for these hot cross buns. So even layer, rough even layer. Get rid of those lumps. We're a bit divided on this. So 50% of us here, and I'm adding the crew in this, want choc chips, and 50% like the raisins. Now, you can soak your fruit. It will just be more plump, and I think that most recipes call for that. But hey, since we're winging it and since we're taking shortcuts, we're just going to throw it in like that. The choc chips also, I'm going to divide that dough in half and mix in both, and then it's going to be a lucky dip, whatever they get.
Why does it sound like a punishment for us?
It's a punishment because you're punishing me making two types of hot cross buns, and I don't even know if this recipe is actually going to work. Fruit first, right? Let's see if this is actually, we're gonna have to get some flour on our hands, mix this. We're gonna get fruit everywhere and choc chips. Okay, back to kneading a bit, and that's because we wanna distribute that fruit. Just gonna add a bit more. How many raisins would you like, Mikhail? They're mixed in. And what I'll do now is just portion the dough for these, and then we're going to roll them into little balls. I'm going to say probably about 6. Just into each other like that. Got one there. Now, this is terrible. We're gonna have to revisit this recipe. We'll just wait and see. So that's the fruit done. We're gonna leave them there. And now we'll move on to our choc chip. All right, so same idea. Just put your choc chips there in the middle and then just start working the dough again. Oh look, Mikhail, they don't want to stay in because they know they don't belong there. Oh, this is good for kids. Kids. Who don't like fruit. Once you've got them in the pan, what we want to do, you want to just keep them there for about, I'd say about 10 minutes, just under a cloth, let them rest, and then we can glaze them. We can actually put the crosses on them, which is just a slurry made with plain flour and a bit of water, and then bake them in the oven. So the dough has rested now for about 10 minutes, and what I'm going to do now is just do a nice light egg wash. You can see that they've slightly expanded and are now touching each other, which is fine because they're going to help each other to also slightly rise. And we just want to get that golden brown colour on the top. I've got the slurry here of plain flour and a little bit of water, and we just want to cut that open, and we're gonna do, I'll just do that here first, test it there. Okay, so we're gonna do the crosses now, so just be as rustic as you like. And then we're gonna bake this in the oven. So I'm going to now put this pan in the oven. I've preheated it on 180 degrees. We're going to leave it for about 20 to 30 minutes until it's nice and golden and nicely baked. So we'll check on these babies soon. You know what? They smell the part. They look the part. Let's hope they actually taste the part. The hot cross buns have been in the oven for 20 minutes. We're going to take it out, glaze it with the beautiful golden syrup mixture, and then put it back in for another 10 minutes. Now, I need to note something. The crosses on there, the slurry should have been a bit thicker and then it would have been more prominent, but it actually just looks like an indent of the crosses, so that's fine. But we're gonna go over that with the golden syrup mixture. And you wanna do that fairly quickly while it's hot. And then we're going to ask the crew to come and taste test these and let us know if it's a yay or a nay. So I'm gonna invite Jimmy to come up and taste. Jimmy is from Jimmy Wong Eats on Instagram and Facebook. I'm gonna put up the links for you to follow him. So,
this looks amazing.
Thank you. You've chosen the raisins because Mikhail won't do raisins, he'll do chocolate. But be my guest, have a go. It's piping hot, so be careful. Do you like yours with butter or without butter?
I like it with it, but look at that. That
Good?
is amazing. Look at it.
Woohoo!
A little bit of butter.
And see how you go.
Are we ready?
Yep. Are you ready? How's that, Jimmy?
Really good.
Really good?
Really good.
For something super quick and something that would normally take, hours you need to prove and roll it and then prove it again.
Look at it.
Something nice, quick, easy. You can make it within an hour and you've got something for your guests.
Really good.
Thanks, Jimmy. So now I'm calling Mikhail, who's caused me so much misery and pain about this, to come up and taste test the, what? Chocolate. He doesn't,
Smells good.
he doesn't, no, does it?
I'm not happy that the chocolate is touching the raisins. I'm just gonna put
Look.
that out there now.
All right, I'm getting one from the middle for you. There you go. You're just gonna eat it like that, down the hatch? What do you think? Approved?
I approve. Good job.
Do you really?
I do. Highly recommend hot cross buns and chopped chips.
The quick way.
The traditional.
We're winging it. It was winging it, and it was the quick way. So do try it.
I'm gonna take this.
Yeah.
Finish it up.
You do that. And there you have it. Under an hour. Hot cross buns. Yes, it's not the traditional way of making it, but really, who cares about tradition? Isn't that right, Mikhail? Done. Oh. Mute it and then have the credit.